If you love Baltimore sports, you'll love WNST.net.
Kids came up and he going through, hi, my name's Ray Lewis, don't do drugs, don't do. And then finally he said, Coach, can I just blow the whistle and be the coach for a little bit, demonstrate? I said, go, man, go. So, he demonstrated.
And this is a long time ago. This is Memorial Stadium.
Memorial Stadium, his first year with the Ravens. And the kids are going, say Ray, because he got excited and the kids got excited. So afterwards he said, I always been the guy that had to do all the stuff when the whistle was blowing. He said, when I get old and retire from football, I think I'm going to coach. I like running the drill. But, he had a way with the kids, and you could tell when he just ran this little drill for the kids, he said, that's what an NFL player can do.
Now, how many NFL guys have you seen, Ravens and stuff like that, and did you ever participate in any of the programs that Brian Billick put together? Because Brian used to put together a seminar. We're thinking of trying to pick that up here at NST, quite frankly. Brian wants to do it. Brian wants to get the Maryland coaches together and keep what he built when he was the Ravens coach to doing a seminar for football coaches. Tell me what that brings to it, a guy like Brian or any. Because Brian, which one Brian? He would bring Steve Spurrier. He would bring
he brought
Marvin. He brought them all in, sure.
And it was good, and you got a chance to sit down, and it was high school and youth league coaches. We go into the stadium, and then we go out in the field and do some on-field stuff, get to work back and forth, and you got to meet some of the coaches, become good friends with them, and have questions. And then the really good guys say, well, listen, this is my perspective on how it is. Can you tell me, whether like Rex Ryan was so funny, and he would say, well, this is what I think it is with defensive linemen. What do you think, Coach? And he actually wanted your input into it, and you got to go back and forth and test some of the thoughts that you had. It was really, really a chance for growth, and then certainly it spread right to the kids. I mean, there's no quicker conduit than getting youth league and high school coaches if you want something taught or take a point of emphasis about character. I remember Brian, spent one of the times talking about cursing on the field, and how
he can't talk about that now.
Well, what happens is that, as
he leads the league in fines for that.
As you go up, there's just not a place for it in youth league football. It just, I know it's become commonplace. You hear some of it sounds great. You hear some of the moms in the stand. You go, oh my God, I hope the kids don't hear that. But, it's one of the things that, it was a vehicle where he could take something he thought was important, run it by people, get their input into it, what difference does it make in football and that sort of thing, and then have it go through. So, I mean, all that's good. Anytime you get coaches together, just like Kevin called in and said, because, the next generation's got to take over, and we're fortunate. We've got some good young men and women involving themselves in youth league football. We see a lot of young women getting involved in coaching, and it's a good thing.
For you, with the other legends of the area who've done this, from Augie Weibel and, George Petrides all these years down at City,
sure.
and Coach Mackley, it's a fraternity.
It is.
And every time I come into it, it's Roger Wren. All these guys that have been around, like I said earlier, Christ is a teenager, because I've been doing this for 25 years,
sure.
And you just cross paths with all of these people. Stan White, very active over at Gilman, and, we find that people do want to give back to kids. That's what they do. I had Mark Messina in here a couple weeks ago. I said, what's your brother doing? Coaching kids baseball. And once it gets into your blood, I guess, you can find a way to keep football or baseball in your life. For me, it was about doing this to keep sports in my life. But what are you going to do? You're still a young man. What are you, 60?
Well, I'm 61. I said I'd take a year off. Now, I am going to do that. I was fortunate enough. We have a new coach at Towson State, Rob Ambrose.
Absolutely, great guy.
He's going to set the place on fire, and he offered me.
Well, we are the voice of Towson football here at WNST.
Well, I'll tell you what, they couldn't have made a better choice. What a great young man.
Well, first time I met him was at Nashville. He was down for the coaches convention, and it was the same weekend of the Ravens were playing the Titans. Right. He came over to our party, got a chance to meet him, and I've heard nothing but great things about what he's doing over at Towson.
Yeah, I've known him since he was just a little kid. His daddy was a great football coach. Coached with me one year, and we coached together in the Big 33. We take Maryland kids and go play Pennsylvania.
Up at Hershey, right?
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. And Rob was just a little guy then, and I played against him when he quarterbacked up at Middletown. He was an exceptional high school player. And then I got a chance to watch him go through and play at Towson and then coach at Catholic, and just a real solid football guy.
If you love Baltimore sports, you'll love WNST.net.